Imagine ancient China, a world where power constantly tempted and corruption was a persistent shadow, looming large over every court. Now picture one remarkable man who, faced with truly grand proposals and dazzling opportunities, absolutely refused to bend. He simply wouldn't compromise what he held most sacred, his profound principles. He didn't chase fleeting crowns, but instead built an enduring legacy on ethical coherence. This is Confucius's incredible journey. He shows us that true wealth isn't what you accumulate in terms of material possessions or status, but rather what you steadfastly preserve within your character. His tale isn't just about an ancient sage from dusty history. It's about that vital inner compass guiding us when the modern world tries relentlessly to pull us off course. Get ready to uncover the quiet, unshakable power of integrity. Hey there, wisdom seekers. Ever found yourself at a crossroads where the easiest path subtly nudged you to bend your values just a little? Or maybe you've truly wondered what it means to be a person of your word, someone folks can absolutely trust implicitly, no questions asked? In a modern world often valuing convenience above all else, the very idea of integrity might sometimes seem like a grand, unattainable luxury. But what if I told you it's actually the absolute bedrock of everything truly meaningful in life? Today, we're going to dive headfirst into ancient China, a fascinating era brimming with profound instability and a deep, urgent hunger for wisdom, to meet an extraordinary figure, Confucius. He was so much more than just a philosopher, you know. He was a living testament. Confucius truly embodied what it means to live with unshakable righteousness, day in and day out. His life, famously marked by difficult choices and outright rejections of power, stands as a radiant beacon for us all. It brilliantly illuminates the profound, enduring value of integrity, a core virtue he didn't just preach, but meticulously elevated into an actual art form of living. Pretty remarkable, wouldn't you say? Through Confucius's incredible and often challenging journey, we'll grasp how honesty and unwavering rectitude aren't just some lofty, distant ideals reserved for saints. They're actually the fundamental keys to unlocking a life brimming with purpose, fostering deep, authentic trust with others, and earning that lasting respect we all secretly crave. It's an ancient lesson, yet strikingly relevant today. His story isn't just dusty history from a faraway land. It's a practical blueprint for our own lives. It vividly teaches us how to navigate our personal and professional paths with a clear moral compass, even when the relentless pressures of the modern world desperately try to pull us off course. You'll see how his unwavering commitment to principle made all the difference, creating an impact that resonates far beyond his own time. Before we truly kick off this incredible tale and dive even deeper into Confucius's wisdom, would you mind doing a quick favor for us? Please hit that subscribe button right now. You absolutely won't want to miss our future deep dives into ancient wisdom. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you're enjoying it, and drop a comment below letting us know what city and country you're watching from. Our story begins in China's tumultuous spring and autumn period, a time of profound unrest and moral decay. Petty states constantly warred, corruption festered openly in the courts, and the social fabric frayed, leaving folks feeling pretty uncertain about everything. It wasn't exactly a tranquil setting for a budding philosopher, wasn't it? Yet, it was in this very crucible of chaos that a remarkable spirit truly began to emerge. Born Confucius into a modest, though respectable family, the young Confucius showed an incredible, almost insatiable, thirst for knowledge right from the get-go. He wasn't just book-smart, he deeply appreciated ancient rituals, music, and the moral codes that once held society together with dignity. You see, he truly believed in finding a tangible path to restore societal harmony, and that crucial quest began profoundly within him. Even without the silver spoon of the elite, his sharp mind and impeccable character simply couldn't be ignored for long. He quickly found himself occupying small administrative posts, roles that most might have considered insignificant or beneath their notice. But Confucius wasn't most people. He approached these tasks with an exemplary, almost zealous dedication, treating every single duty with the utmost seriousness and care. In these humble, often overlooked positions, he consistently demonstrated an unwavering commitment to both justice and efficiency, far beyond expectation. He wasn't just performing duties, he was actively living his principles every single day. Whether it was meticulously managing granaries or diligently overseeing livestock, his honesty shone through every action, building a reputation brick by ethical brick. People couldn't help but notice, you know. His straightforward approach and transparent dealings earned him genuine, hard-won respect, not just among the common folk he diligently served, but also, quite surprisingly, catching the discerning eye of some powerful local leaders. They saw in him a rare and invaluable blend of sharp intellect and deep integrity, a quality often in extremely short supply within the fragmented, self-serving political landscape of that era. This early phase of his life wasn't just about gradual career advancement. It was the fertile, foundational ground where the profound seeds of his lifelong, unwavering commitment to righteousness were firmly planted and nurtured. It meticulously set the stage for the powerful ethical framework he would later advocate, truly proving that genuine character starts not with grand titles, but with principled action in everyday life. Confucius's reputation, that of a truly wise and remarkably upright man, began to spread far and wide, quietly yet powerfully, like vital ripples in a pond. Word of his exemplary conduct and deeply insightful counsel reached well beyond his local community. People were genuinely impressed by his consistent moral compass, a rare and precious commodity in those shifting political sands, and they certainly talked. Before too long, a lord from a smaller yet influential state, deeply impressed by Confucius's effective administrative acumen and unblemished personal ethics, extended a truly remarkable offer. It was a position of immense power and significant, far-reaching influence, perhaps a chief minister or a principal advisor. For many, this would have been the absolute pinnacle of their ambition, a lifelong dream finally come true. Yet this gleaming offer arrived with a significant, rather thorny catch, a crucial condition, either subtly implied through courtly whispers or more starkly, explicitly stated. The underlying expectation was that Confucius would, shall we say, turn a blind eye to certain questionable government practices or intricate, often shady courtly intrigues. He'd need to flexibilize his cherished moral principles a bit. The unspoken understanding was unsettlingly clear. To maintain a fragile peace and consolidate power within the often treacherous court, some moral corners would simply have to be cut. No ifs, ands, or buts. Imagine the internal struggle this presented. Confucius pondered this deeply, weighing the very real opportunity to enact widespread good against the corrosive requirement to compromise his very essence from the outset. He saw the tangible potential to truly benefit the common people, to bring about much-needed sweeping reforms on a grand scale. However, he also recognized, with crystalline clarity, that the very foundation of this power, this enticing opportunity, was deeply and irrevocably compromised. It was built squarely on shaky ethical ground, demanding he betray his own fundamental truth from day one. With genuine regret in his heart, but with an unshakable inner firmness that would define his entire being, Confucius respectfully, yet decisively, declined the prestigious position. He simply and clearly stated he couldn't possibly govern with true righteousness if he had to, right from the very beginning, compromise himself and his most fundamental, deeply held values. His personal integrity, you see, was absolutely non-negotiable. After that pivotal refusal of a significant administrative post, or perhaps after accepting a smaller role only to find the system utterly resistant to any meaningful change, Confucius made a truly bold and defining decision. He chose to abandon the court of his home state altogether, embarking on a new path. He simply couldn't, in good conscience, condone the rampant hypocrisy and blatant lack of ethics displayed so openly by the ruling class there. So, he embarked upon what would become a legendary and deeply influential journey, a voluntary exile, a walkabout of sorts, spanning well over a decade. Accompanied by his loyal and eager disciples, who revered his wisdom, he tirelessly traversed the vast and often perilous landscape of the various warring Chinese states. It was a profound pilgrimage dedicated to his unwavering ideals of moral governance. Everywhere they went, Confucius offered his profound counsel and timeless wisdom to various rulers and their often skeptical courts. His deepest, most fervent hope was to finally discover a leader, just one, who was genuinely willing to wholeheartedly embrace his foundational principles of ethical and moral governance, and not merely pay them superficial lip service. He was tirelessly searching for true alignment and principled action. He wasn't just idly wandering from place to place. This was an active, purposeful quest for a stable environment, where his vision for a harmonious society, built squarely on righteousness and mutual respect, could actually take root and flourish. Imagine the sheer arduousness of such constant travel, the daily uncertainty, all while holding firm to an ideal that seemed increasingly distant in that turbulent and corrupt age. During this arduous and often frustrating phase of his life, Confucius received numerous other tempting offers for employment, prestigious positions in different courts across the land. The allure of security, considerable status, and a stable life must have been incredibly strong, especially after years of nomadic wandering with his students. Yet he remained vigilant, always scrutinizing the true intentions behind each grand offer. Time and again, if he perceived that the leaders weren't genuinely interested in sincerely applying righteousness and justice for the common people's true benefit, but merely sought to use his esteemed reputation to legitimize their own questionable, often self-serving power, he respectfully but firmly refused. He consistently preferred the profound freedom of his own uncompromised integrity to the gilded cage of a compromising, high-status office. Even as Confucius moved into his later venerable years, his profound wisdom and unyielding moral stance continued to attract considerable, widespread attention. The quiet glow of his reputation simply wouldn't dim, constantly drawing both earnest seekers of truth and, crucially, ambitious rulers alike. New invitations for significant advisory roles and positions of influence continually arose, sometimes cleverly disguised as fresh opportunities to profoundly shape state policies. These weren't always straightforward offers, though. Often they came subtly laced with unspoken expectations, or even explicit compromises that gnawed at his core. On one particularly memorable occasion, a powerful feudal lord extended an offer promising immense influence, truly a chance to make a substantial difference. However, it implicitly required participation in a political alliance Confucius viewed as highly questionable, perhaps even repugnant. This alliance, he quickly discerned through his sharp moral lens, wasn't just ethically murky. It was, in his considered judgment, outright dishonest, and crucially, would prove profoundly harmful to the very common people he sought so tirelessly to serve and protect. His devoted disciples, seeing what appeared to be their master's last real chance at widespread impact, eagerly urged him to accept, passionately arguing it was the only way to finally implement his transformative ideas. "Master," they might have pleaded with a mix of hope and desperation, "surely a little compromise for the greater good of the people is permissible, isn't it? Think of the vast positive impact you could undoubtedly have from within such a powerful position." But Confucius, ever the picture of inner calm and resolute purpose, remained absolutely unshakable, his moral compass fixed and true. His thoughtful answer was a lesson in itself. He explained patiently but firmly that a truly wise leader, a genuine sage, must be the living embodiment of the very values he passionately preaches, without exception. To accept a prestigious position under such ethically tainted conditions wouldn't, in his profound view, constitute a victory at all, but rather a crushing moral defeat, irreversibly eroding his credibility and the very trust he had meticulously built. His unwavering refusal, yet another in a long and consistent line, became an even more powerful and resonant testimony to his core belief that integrity isn't merely a desirable trait or some lofty optional ideal. It's an absolute, fundamental, and non-negotiable necessity for anyone truly aspiring to genuine and lasting leadership. His example spoke louder than any sermon. Then and now, Confucius at last made his way back to his home state of Shandong, a journey perhaps tinged with a quiet sense of irony and deep reflection. He had, quite famously and deliberately, never truly occupied a high office that would have allowed him to fully implement his expansive political visions for a harmonious society. Yet, paradoxically, his influence didn't wane after his wanderings. On the contrary, it began to grow exponentially, like a steadily burning, ever-brightening flame. The lack of fleeting political power, you see, didn't diminish his profound moral authority one bit. In fact, it quite likely amplified it in the eyes of the people. It vividly proved that his cherished principles weren't bound by the ephemeral whims of government positions, but were something far more enduring and universal. He had built his impactful platform squarely on character, not on a temporary title, and that's a foundation that truly lasts and inspires. During his final dedicated years, Confucius devoted himself wholeheartedly to consolidating and refining his profound teachings, ensuring their clarity, consistency, and lasting preservation. He meticulously edited the ancient classics, revered texts that would become absolutely foundational for Chinese thought and governance for centuries to come. And most importantly, he poured his entire energy into forming and patiently guiding his many eager disciples. This dedicated and tireless effort wasn't merely academic in its scope. It was, in essence, the meticulous construction of an immortal, lasting legacy. Through his unwavering work, he successfully established a formal school, a vibrant intellectual hub of learning that would eventually become the very bedrock of Confucianism. This powerful philosophy, born directly from his life's unshakable integrity, would profoundly shape China's culture, ethics, and governance for millennia. Though he never managed to conquer the challenging realm of political power in his own lifetime, he undoubtedly conquered something far, far greater and infinitely more valuable: the unwavering respect and the deep, abiding trust of countless generations who followed. His life stands as an eternal living testament, a powerful, inspiring narrative for all time about what truly matters most. His entire existence profoundly demonstrated that integrity isn't just a virtue we admire from afar, or a quaint, old-fashioned notion from ancient times that lacks modern relevance. It is, in fact, an immensely powerful, transformative, and absolutely essential force, capable of building a lasting, meaningful legacy that effortlessly transcends the fleeting, temporary nature of any position of power. What an ultimate, resounding victory. So, there you have it, friends. Confucius's extraordinary journey isn't just some ancient tale. It's really a powerful mirror reflecting our own modern quest for a truly meaningful and impactful path in life. He brilliantly showed us that integrity isn't merely the absence of dishonesty, a simple lack of wrongdoing. Oh no, it's far more profound than that. What Confucius exemplified was an unwavering, beautiful coherence, a perfect alignment between what we deeply think, what we clearly say, and what we consistently do. It's that seamless connection, that steadfastness, that truly defines integrity. His life was a masterclass in living an authentic, congruent existence, every single day. In every single refusal to accept a high-flying position that would have demanded compromising his cherished principles, Confucius wasn't actually losing an opportunity, was he? Quite the opposite. He was, in fact, meticulously building something infinitely more valuable: an empire of unyielding character, a robust legacy of profound trust and enduring respect that would echo powerfully through countless millennia. Think for a moment about your own daily choices, the small decisions you make every single day, those seemingly insignificant compromises here and there. The tiny ethical shortcuts might initially appear harmless or simply convenient, but let's be honest, they are the subtle, insidious forces that gradually, almost imperceptibly, erode our own vital inner compass. Confucius's timeless lesson hits home. Integrity isn't just a nice-to-have, it's the absolute foundational cornerstone of genuine self-confidence, and crucially, the powerful capacity to genuinely inspire others. When you truly live with integrity, people notice, and they're naturally drawn to that authentic strength and reliability. It's magnetic. It's about building a reputation, yes, but it's more than that. It generates lasting, deep-seated respect, not just in the discerning eyes of others who observe your actions. More importantly, and perhaps most crucially, it builds that invaluable self-respect reflected back at you from the mirror you look into every single day. That's true inner peace. May Confucius's incredible story deeply inspire each of us to fiercely defend our own principles, to courageously build a life brimming with ethical coherence, and to genuinely become the positive change we so desperately wish to see manifest in the world around us. It starts truly with one single integrated act at a time. Thank you so much for joining us on this enlightening journey into the echoes of Asian wisdom. We really appreciate you spending your valuable time with us. What part of Confucius's life or teachings resonated most deeply with you today? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom,